Hi, I'm Dr. Almisha Campbell. This is Innovate Exchange, and we are coming to you live from the University of Kentucky in Lexington. Welcome to this edition of Innovate Exchange. I am your host, Almisha Campbell, and with me today is Ms. Taunya Phillips, Director of the Office of Technology Commercialization at the University of Kentucky. Welcome, Taunya.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Tell us what it means to be the Director of the Office of Technology Commercialization.
Well, it's a big responsibility. So my office manages all of the intellectual property at the University of Kentucky. So we're responsible for making sure that it's properly protected. We are responsible for making sure that we have commercialization strategies to let it get out into the public for the benefit of society. And we also are responsible for helping to co-create startups with faculty if that's the best avenue for commercialization. So it's a pretty big job with big responsibility.
And I'm sure you're up for the task.
I am up for the task.
Yes. We talked a lot to some of your faculty and some of your staff about societal impact and the work that they're doing. What would you consider as one of your biggest wins for the University of Kentucky in terms of commercialization?
So our biggest win, it has great impact, but it also has a lot of commercial impact. So this is one of my favorite innovations, a startup company called Niodine. And it was a husband and wife team of researchers who were researching topical cancer treatments. And so they came up with this component for skincare products that went to the market, to the commercial market, before it went to a medicinal market for helping to treat cancer. So if you ever are in an Ulta or Sephora or Target and you see strivectin products, the active ingredient in those products is from the University of Kentucky. And so that's been our biggest winner over the years, and pretty exciting because I actually buy those products. And so every time I use them, I think about the work that was done here at the University of Kentucky.
That is awesome, and I think that's one of the things that makes this profession so great, that even those of us who are tech transfer profession, even though that we're not the ones who created the technology, the fact that we were able to help it on the pathway to product development is exciting for us, and we get to celebrate with our researchers. So in that vein, talk to me about UK Win and why that was put in place at the University of Kentucky.
Yes, so we saw that women innovators were not disclosing to our office as often as men. And so we wanted to do something about that. So we created UK Win to increase the number of women innovating and actually participating in the intellectual property development and commercialization process. So it's our way to gather women so that they can network and they can meet one another. They get exposed to other women on campus and outside the university, like yourself, who are, blazing the trails out there in innovation and technology commercialization. So we're hoping to inspire them and kind of nudge them to participate with our office. And, our office is predominantly women. And so that has made a big impact on the number of disclosures that we receive across campus. Another way that we've been able to bring in inclusivity with women and with underrepresented groups is by opening up and working on social innovation. So there we're in the colleges of social work and education and design. And so a lot of that brings in women innovators and minority innovators that we might not have gotten to if we had stayed focused on the traditional areas in STEM.
That's awesome. We hear a lot about social innovation, and now everybody's looking at the University of Kentucky model, and I had an opportunity to talk to Serenity about the work that's happening here. What is the excitement for you here on this campus, seeing how that has taken off here at University of Kentucky?
I think the excitement for me is the fact that it does broaden the participation of the people in the commercialization process. It's really opened the floodgates. It has brought in excitement to a group of people on campus that we had not paid attention to before. We had our largest license initiation fee ever from a social innovation.
Wow.
It has also forced us to learn new ways of doing things. So we, didn't do much copyright in the past, and we didn't know how to license copyright. So we had to learn how to do those things to create the support networks and infrastructure to be able to do social innovation. So it's been challenging at times, but it's also been fun and really fun to watch the innovators who didn't think about how can I get my innovation out to the public, and now they have an avenue to do that.
Good. I know you've been at the University of Kentucky in the trenches for a while now. And as you look back to where you started in the Office of Technology Commercialization, did you think that you would be here where you are today and doing the work that you're doing, being a national model, and even being asked to be a mentor to another institution for the NSF Art Program?
I would never have thought this. I had hoped that we would get to this point. But I never thought that. When Ian McClure first came to our office in 2017, we were 5 people. We have 31 people in our office today, so that's some fast growth. And so I really credit him and his visionary leadership with our growth and helping us to be the thought leaders out there on the national level for a lot of the programs and things that we're doing.
Yes, and of course, Ian was, on the board of Atom. He was, chair before I took over. It was a pleasure of mine to take the gavel from him that year and to see what he's done, especially when you look at the Chips and Science Act, but always been someone about Kentucky. So I'm happy to hear this, but you have also been blazing your own trail for a long time. We met, 6 years ago, and have been working together and have, really enjoyed a friendship with you over the years. But I want to talk a little bit about Patent Palooza. This is something that I know I get all the emails from University of Kentucky because I feel like I'm an honorary UK person. So tell me about Patent Palooza and the type of impact it has had over the years.
Okay. So first of all, you are an honorary UK Innovate member. But Patent Palooza is much like we're celebrating women today. Patent Palooza is our way of celebrating the whole campus and innovation across campus. And so we have it typically in the fall, and it's just a very fun environment. Jackie Green, who's our marketing person, does a great job of decorating. We have all these balloons, and so the innovators come. And I think it's important that they hear their name said, amongst all the other innovators. So we recognize our innovators for those who have gotten a patent in the past year, and they get a mug with the patent faceplate on the mug, so it's something they can kind of show off to their colleagues. Right. We recognize people whose patents have been licensed that year, and we also recognize people who have participated in our accelerator programs. And so it's just we invite the deans and the associate deans for research. The president has been to every one of our Patent Paloozas, so it's really important to him, and that sends a message to those innovators that what they're doing matters, and the higher administration actually sees and appreciates it.
Yeah, I think that's awesome that you have buy-in from every level of the institution, ensuring, like you said, your researchers, your innovators understand the value that they bring to this university. I think that's awesome, but also I think it's awesome that in the state of Kentucky, you also have buy-in from different entities like your governor's office and the programs. Talk to me about that relationship and the things that they're doing here in Kentucky.
Yeah, so another thing that Ian, has led the way on is really being inclusive across Kentucky. We're a small state, and we only have 2 R1 universities for the whole state, and so we saw a need to bring in other universities in the state. There are 6 comprehensive universities, and so Kentucky Commercialization Ventures was created to be the tech transfer office for those other universities, the 6 comprehensive universities. But we all have a part in KCV. We all work together. We have numerous grants that we're all leaders in, and so it's a family atmosphere, I guess you could say, across Kentucky, in terms of how we work together, and really we're all looking to advance the state of Kentucky. We have buy-in from the Cabinet for Economic Development. We have some really strong leaders there. Monique Quarterman is one of those, and so it's really great that we all know one another and we're all working together to advance Kentucky.
Yeah, it's always great when the people within the ecosystem are working towards the same goal. It makes it easier. And I love that about what's happening here in Kentucky. Looking at, some of you, like I said, I consider you all friends. Of seeing your work over the years and the stuff that you have helped me in my own institution in doing, like the Enrich program, Accelerate Network. Always appreciative, University of Kentucky. I want to go back a little bit and talk about, we're both honorary members of the National Academy of Inventors, and I know you were one that said, why me? But I think that you need to be celebrated. You need to be celebrated for the work that you've done, for the partnerships that you've brought, to your office, and the different, groups of people that you've been able to connect with. I'm pulling them back. I want to talk about the National Academy of Inventors and how you go about ensuring that your innovators are able to get recognized by such an association.
Yeah, well, we found that organization to be a great one to be associated with, and we want our inventors to be fellows in that organization. And so we have made it a priority to nominate every year. And we have 4 that have been inducted so far, and so it's something that the innovators love, and they're celebrated for, and it just gives not necessarily credibility, but recognition to the body of work that they have. And so it's a great organization, and we look forward to having many more University of Kentucky researchers inducted.
Well, I applaud you and the University of Kentucky for the work that it's doing. Like I said, other people are watching you as a model, and I really wanted you to be on this show so we can highlight what you're also doing, because I know oftentimes you're like me, you want to be in the background, but unfortunately in these cases we need to make sure that you as well as a Black woman is celebrated for the work that you're doing. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And you're watching another edition of Innovate Exchange. Thank you.
At Jackson State University, we're not just focused on today. Our students are building tomorrow. The JSU Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship is redefining education, a vanguard of technological innovation. This is what the future looks like. This is what tomorrow holds. Learn and teach, research, build and grow. Jackson State University. Become who you're meant to be.